The New York Yankees have lost 6 of their last 7 games, and for the 3rd season in a row have completely fallen apart around mid-June, and it's pretty clear to me that there is a major fundamental flaw within this franchise that hasn't been able to win a World Series since 2009. Even if they are always a top 3 payroll within the sport, they've consistently struggled with the exact same issues year after year, and no matter what they do to improve their issues, it doesn't work. And I think a huge reason for this is manager Aaron Boone, who consistently expects, accepts, and even praises mediocrity and consistent failing.
We got to play better, period. And the great thing is, it's right in front of us. It's right here, and we can fix it. It's right here. It's there, and we can run away with this thing. And we got the dudes in there to do it. The good thing is we are in first place, and we got the pen. Reggie tells me all the time, we got the pen. We get to write the script the rest of the way.
Following a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Toronto Blue Jays, who then passed the Yankees in the division standings, Boone stated that he was not worried about the state of the Yankees because they were, quote, the best team in baseball, even though they are currently tied for the 4th best record in the American League and tied for the 9th best record overall. This quote is the exact flaw of the team, and with Aaron Boone as the manager, the same flaw will continue to exist because of the nature of how this team is managed. Boone's managing is part of the reason why the Yankees are terrible at playing baseball. And what I mean by that is that they simply struggle to play baseball the correct way. They don't take the extra base and they give up the extra base, and there's just so much more, but I'll let Joe Kelly explain it. He's probably going to do a better job than I would.
Yeah. We were saying every single game, just let them throw the ball to the infield, they can't make a play. I mean, you saw Shohei got an extra base going to third on sloppy Glaber play. It's well known. We all knew. I mean, we're the Dodgers. We know every little detail. It was just a mismatch from the get-go. Like, we had a playoff re-ranking. Like, they might be ranked 8th or 9th best playoff team. You know what I mean? Like, you're putting the Padres ahead of them. You're putting the Phillies ahead of them. You're putting the Mets ahead of them. Like, it was just a complete mismatch, and it's kind of the same feeling from 2018 when we had to go play the Dodgers. Like, the Red Sox were just a way better team. So all we knew is that we just had to play regular Dodger baseball. We didn't have to play out of our butts. We didn't have to do anything crazy, and we were going to win the World Series. I mean, we pay attention to every single detail. You know, we have a lot of big superstars in our clubhouse, but the superstars also care and aren't lazy. And play hard, so that's the difference and the biggest separator.
He also went on to say that the Yankees played Yankee defense when they kicked the ball around, and that's exactly how they expected them to play because it's how they did all year last year. It was clear that the Dodgers weren't the only team that found major flaws in the Yankees defense. The Boston Red Sox absolutely exposed the Yankees catcher's throwing abilities by stealing a franchise record 9 bases on June 16th, 2024. The Red Sox also managed to expose the Yankees this season as well, completely stifling their offense at Fenway Park and taking 2 of 3 and destroying their pitchers in New York. In 2025, the Yankees are just 21-26 against teams above 500. They are 12-18 in one-run games, 1-6 in extra inning games, and they're 10-16 against their AL East opponents so far this season. These are management issues. If they were taught the little things better, they'd be winning the one-run games. If they were more focused, they'd maybe be winning against the good teams. And they're being out-scouted, and they're playing too similar to the AL East opponents. The AL East opponents know how to beat the Yankees aren't changing anything up, and because of that, the Yankees are losing games to their division rivals. It's just how it works. This is what bad managing does to a team. Now, unlike what Joe Kelly was saying, the Yankees are actually a good defensive team this year statistically, as they are tied, ironically, with the Dodgers in defensive runs saved as a team. However, this stat is extremely misleading, as the Yankees pitchers account for just under half of the entire team's DRS, which makes absolutely no sense. Max Fried has been worth of 6 of those .215 DRS, and Max Fried only pitches once every 5 games. So normally this team isn't as good defensively, it's just Max Fried is a really good fielding pitcher. If you take away the 15 DRS from pitchers, which is unfair because those players are on the team, but it's also fair because those players aren't all playing at the same time, but the rest of the team is. It's just a weird loophole thing. I'm taking it out just to prove my point. You're left with just 17 DRS, which puts you 15th in the league in that stat. However, there are some teams that are extremely bad, like the Colorado Rockies, who are worth -54 DRS. They're 16th in errors committed as a team, which isn't terrible, but it's below average. And of course, there's more to fielding than just committing errors, and one of those things is turning double plays, which the Yankees are very, very bad at. Worse than all but 3 teams in turning those double plays. That's enough on the defense for now. Let's move to offense. The Yankees have been phenomenal offensively this year, all things considered. They lead MLB in on-base percentage, and they are second in the league in OPS, as well as being second in home runs. So they can score and they can hit the long ball. However, there are still some major flaws offensively. They are 4th in the league in strikeouts overall, which of course is very bad, and they are also dead last in runners left on base per game. They're also 27th in sacrifice hits, as well as being dead last in runners left in scoring position, and 18th in team double plays grounded into. Those are some not good trends, and what's even worse about this? These are just baseball things. The Yankees are good at hitting, but they're bad at playing baseball, and that's just the best way to describe them. The runners left on base thing is also not a coincidence, and this is because of how teams attack the Yankees. And that's by getting to the bottom of the order and not pitching to Aaron Judge. The bottom of the Yankees order is just not good. There are plenty of batters that just are not going to get the job done, and teams are able to expose that. But I don't want to just say that and not show proof. So instead, let's look at how the Blue Jays handled the Yankees, because they dominated the series. In the 6th inning of Game 1, Aaron Judge was intentionally walked by the Blue Jays, even though the Yankees were already winning this game. It ended up biting the Jays because after a strikeout, Giancarlo Stanton hit an RBI single, which gave the Yankees a 2-run lead. Then, in Judge's next at-bat, the Yankees found themselves down a run with no one on. The Blue Jays decided to intentionally walk Judge, with no outs and again, no one on base. And guess what? It worked. After a bunt, a flyout, and a lineout by Anthony Volpe, which is not surprising because he leads the league in runners left on base, the Blue Jays' gamble of walking Judge intentionally worked and the inning was over. From there, the Blue Jays went on to win the first game as Judge didn't have another chance to hit. In Game 2, Aaron Judge was walked in the first inning, then doubled in the 3rd inning with 1 out, and then were unable to score after that double. Next time up, Judge hit a single, and then following a walk, the Yankees had 2 on and nobody out. But that turned into no runs once again for the New York Yankees. His next at-bat, he came up as the tying run with no outs and a runner on first base, and the Blue Jays intentionally walked him. However, this time after an error from the Blue Jays, the Yankees were able to tie up the game, but couldn't take the lead as Volpe left more runners on base. But the Blue Jays are so afraid of Aaron Judge in this situation that they intentionally walked him, moving the tying run into scoring position with no outs. This is how the Yankees lose. The Blue Jays are so unafraid of the rest of the Yankees order that they are willing to put the tying run in scoring position with no outs, because it's a better gamble than facing Aaron Judge. That's just insane to me. The Yankees' bad bullpen then gave up 5 runs and the Blue Jays started to run away with the game. In the last inning, the Jays walked Judge for the 3rd time of the game, and that was the end of Game 2. In Game 3, the Blue Jays let Judge hit, and because of that, they almost blew an 8-0 lead. Judge hit a big double in the 5th inning, which turned into a big 6-run inning. In the next inning, Judge was intentionally walked as the go-ahead run to load the bases, again with just a 2-run lead. And it worked as the Yankees only scored 1 that inning and the Blue Jays kept their lead. In the 8th inning, they decided to pitch to Judge, and that didn't work as he hit a 2-run bomb to tie up the game. but they still lost that game because they gave up runs in the 8th and Judge did not come up in the 9th. In the final game, Judge was hit in his first at-bat, grounded into a double play in his second at-bat, then walked in his third at-bat, and then in a 1-run game in the 8th inning, they intentionally walked Judge with 2 outs, and the inning ended immediately after. In the 9th inning, the Yankees lost, but not before Volpe left one more runner on base. So how do you beat the Yankees? Don't let Aaron Judge beat you. Get Anthony Volpe up with runners on base, and then beat their bad bullpen, and that's about it. Since I just mentioned the bullpen, it's definitely worth mentioning how bad the pitching has been as well, especially in the month of July so far, and while that's only been 6 games, it's concerning since there have been some major injuries both in the rotation and in the bullpen. Luke Weaver was incredible for the Yankees last season, as well as the start to this season, but has struggled badly after coming back from an injury a little over a week ago. We already know that Gerrit Cole is out for the season, and Luis Gil is still over a month away from making his season debut because of an injury, and now one of their only other reliable pitchers, Clarke Schmidt, is going to need Tommy John surgery, which will probably sideline him until 2027. It is a really bad staff right now, and with Marcus Stroman, Will Warren, and someone coming up out of the minors to take up 60% of the starts, and of course the Yankees can always go and trade for somebody before the deadline, but right now they haven't done that, so these 3 guys are pitching right now 60% of the time. This is some serious trouble that the New York Yankees are in. Fried and Rodon have both been great this year, but they need arms badly, and realistically they need some bats. Fried and Rodon also both have health issues in their past, so assuming that they're gonna finish the rest of the season fully healthy is potentially a little bold. I never want anyone to be injured, but it's just the reality of pitchers. Fried and Rodon have had injuries, and pitchers just get injured all the time. I'm not saying that there's no chance that both of them don't make 33 starts this year, but it's hard to rely on that from guys that have been injured in the past. It's just something to keep note of. If one of those 2 guys go down, I don't even know who's coming up next. They are completely screwed if that happens. They need another arm at the deadline, and they can't wait until the deadline. They need one now. The flaw of this Yankees team really just comes down to the fact that they truly don't know how to play the game of baseball, and they consistently get outmanaged simply because Aaron Boone is an extremely poor manager. He makes poor bullpen decisions, his players are not good at making baseball decisions as he continues to feed them bad baseball knowledge, and he continues to feed his players the propaganda that the Yankees are the best team in the league instead of taking any amount of accountability in their flaws. But Boone isn't the only one in the organization that can't take accountability for anything either. General manager Brian Cashman is the exact same way. He's blamed the 2017 Yankees losing to the Astros on the cheating scandal instead of taking accountability, and he just refuses to admit that he made a bad move by never cutting bait with bad players, like DJ LeMahieu and many other guys in the past. The franchise just lacks accountability and really loves to taunt their pride and dominance over the rest of MLB. However, if you take away the pinstripes and the market, the New York Yankees past 2009 might as well be the San Diego Padres.